I think what we are doing on this hackathon and what our community is doing in general is the future. It's one of the hottest places to be in our time. And we have to work together to exchange ideas, to help each other. And good luck for everyone who is with us. First, I'm a lawyer and programmer, so I'm from two different worlds. And I have two projects for hackathon, but they are connected. And both of them are about connecting legal world and Ethereum in blockchain.
Okay.
The first is real shares on blockchain. So what we are doing? To make shares of a real company, I mean of legal person, that can own property, that can open another companies, that can conclude deals, make contracts. Shares of this company or this corporation are represented by token in Ethereum smart contract. Unlike the DAO, it will be an organization that exists on blockchain, and with tokens you can send via Ethereum wallet. But it exists as a company in real world. A registered company. It's the problem I think DAO Link worked on. But our approach is different. We are not going to change legislation in some country. Our way, because I'm a lawyer and work with some tax planning, our way is to find jurisdiction in which we can do this. And once we register a legal person in one jurisdiction, it can work in almost any other. Since July this year, when I submitted this idea, most of this is already done, actually. So we have a smart contract. So I have a team with two other people. We have already a smart contract based on Ethereum token standard. We already registered a corporation, a legal person. We did it in some interesting jurisdiction on Marshall Islands, in the Republic of Marshall Islands. It's legal. It can do business in USA or in Europe. What's interesting about Marshall Islands? I think it's the last jurisdiction where bearer shares are possible. But it's still legal. It's still legal. It's not something we cannot open a company in USA or open a company, I mean, another company in USA that can be fully owned by a company on Marshall Islands. So we did a lot of legal work to register, because even on Marshall Islands, it was not easy task to explain to authorities what it is, how it works. But we get bylaws. In bylaws is written that shares of corporation, it's called coin offering, coin offering Ltd. Shares of coin offering exists in smart contract by the number written in bylaws. And we put in bylaws that share transfer is valid only when it's done in smart contract. No other way of transferring shares is valid. In smart contract, we also implemented a system for voting. Those shareholders can vote in smart contract. So if you are a shareholder, you open your Ethereum wallet, you see that somebody put in smart contract new proposition, and you have some time to make your vote. Our next step, and what I'm going to do in Hackathon, is to create more user-friendly interface, because now it works only as functions in Ethereum wallet. So, you know, it's not very user-friendly. So if you're a programmer or a technical guy, you can use this. But our target auditorium is not only programmers, but ordinary business people. So our next task to create a DApp, distributed application, which can be used in Mist, but this user-friendly interface with voting, seeing shareholders, with all this. Why it's important? Because despite it's registered only in one country, only in Marshall Islands, it's a legal person in almost all other countries. So Marshall Islands is state under protection of the United States, and it will be recognized also in Europe. What do we have? We have a tool to transfer shares of real company that owns property, that can have employees, can have contracts, that can open a bank account. But these shares, we can transfer via blockchain. Instead of NASDAQ, we have blockchain. It's open. It's transparent, because every transaction with shares or every voting you can see online on blockchain. So using some legal hacks, we can make a stock exchange global with access for everybody. That's what we are doing, and we are in process of developing this, and I'm going to make a next big step on Hackathon, and maybe we can get new programmers or some people who are interested in this. I'm happy to work with any enthusiastic players, developers, salespeople, somebody who likes marketing, like this. And also we have another project connected to this. So project number 2 is Ethereum Identity Proof. Based on OpenPGP key certificates. It's like Web of Trust, but in this Web of Trust, only notaries can verify certificates of other people. I mean real notaries, real public notaries authorized by the state to make some legal work. So trained people to work with documents, with identification. It's not fully decentralized because we have a server where we store all information. But this is a network, because one notary can authorize another notary, and this another notary can authorize another notary, and this can work in different countries. We already started. We have notaries in Israel, and we have already notaries in Ukraine, and we are going to expand this network, and it's going to be better than apostille. Because apostille, it's hard really to know who made this. But with cryptography, you can check immediately who signs this and which case belongs to which people. And then we created a prototype of smart contract on Ethereum blockchain to make verification using OpenPGP key verified by notary for a verification of Ethereum account. Why we need OpenPGP? Because in OpenPGP we have a standard for key certificate. What is a certificate? It's actually cryptographic key with user data and signed by private key. So public key plus user data signed by his private key. We don't have such construction in Ethereum, but for verification we need certificate. So before I verify somebody, I must be sure that he is also owner of the private key. You understand? And then with verified OpenPGP key with smart contract, we can check owner of Ethereum account. How we do this technically? Owner of Ethereum account makes a request for some string, receive the string, signs with PGP key, and then store this string signed in smart contract. And then we can establish connection between some Ethereum account and PGP key. And information verified by a public notary connected to PGP key and connected to Ethereum account. Is we need to connect blockchain to real business, to create possibility to use smart contracts for real goods, for shipping some containers or something like this. And it have to be open, and it have to be verifiable. So it have to be understandable for lawyers, for business people, how it works. So everything we do is open source, of course, and what we already done is on GitHub. So basically, I have smart contracts for both these ideas, and I have legal tools, and I'm going to make dApps with interface to make it usable for the vault. The first project is coin offering, because we think it's very usable for ICO, for startups who want to sell shares or make some vesting or something like this. And another is a part of Cryptonomica project. Why Cryptonomica? Because it's a tool to make cryptography usable for big economy.
Great.
For coin offering and Cryptonomica, they are connected, and the same people involved, but it's like separate ideas, but closely connected. All is to make next step in developing, to create dApps. For me, it's a new job, because I did already smart contracts, but and I did web sites, of course, and now I'm wanted to work with dApps. Of course, we are going to impress judges, and I would like to use hackathon as a chance to present our ideas to a more broad auditorium for people who are interested in Ethereum and using blockchain. So I hope we can impress somebody. I think that with coin offering project, we are going to global stock exchange. We're going to global market for shares, not separated by different legislation in different countries. So it's a way we can make blockchain a basis for new corporate law, I would say. And identification, I think it's clear that this is one of the most needed parts to involve blockchain to real economy. Because when we work with real goods, with real property, we should identify owners. And in general, in my opinion, the DAO is not the best idea to make democracy in investing. I would more trust to put my money in some fund managed by Peter Thiel or some experienced manager than managed by voting of anonymous people. It's a good experiment. It's a brilliant idea, but I think we have steps to make it more closer to real economy, to real business.
And with the stock exchange,
why our approach is different? T0 trying to do something on the territory managed by security US SEC. It's over-regulated. And our approach, we can do the same in another jurisdiction with more friendly laws and get companies with the same rights. It's legal person, just like in USA. So at least for start, USA is not the best place. Maybe in the future, but we have to start with something working, because we do not have years to wait for approval.